And so, guys, next up for my anime review is actually one that I started 2 years ago, The Seven Deadly Sins. Yeah, I started watching a lot of other anime 2 years ago, like Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, and My Hero Academia. And I knew that this entire series was on Netflix, with it being a Netflix original series, and I wanted all that series to see it until June 2 years ago, and I started watching the whole thing. And I gotta admit, as I was watching it from start to finish, I felt like it had some of the best writing I had seen in an anime in a long time. And the amount of episodes that are on Netflix right now definitely show that. The anime so far has like 3 seasons or something, and but when I started watching it, I only had like the first two, and so as I was watching those first 2 seasons on Netflix, I was thinking to myself that the writing for this show was really, really fantastic. Yeah, the same obviously goes for the manga as well, because the manga finished like in March last year, and I have every single volume. Like, it has 41 volumes, and I have all of them. Again, I haven't gotten around to like fully like reading all of it yet, but I'm really close to seeing all of it done. But before we get into like all that, like the end of the story and stuff like that, let's get a little further first. So, in a fantasy world, we have these knights of the seven deadly sins who were wrongfully accused of a crime many years ago, and a kingdom ruled by evil knights of the Holy Knight. And one day, the princess of the kingdom, Elizabeth, is out looking for the seven deadly sins to help stop them, because she noticed more than likely that they were framed. And she comes across the leader of the group, Meliodas, and the two of them begin to search for the rest of the sins, along with Meliodas' talking pig heart. So what I think I immediately liked a lot about this series when I started was the setup for it seemed really interesting, and the execution of the whole story is really fascinating. The series is also really funny, easily one of the funniest animes I've seen in a long time. And I like the general story with going on a search for the guy to find the other things. It's fun to follow the characters like Meliodas and Elizabeth, and Hawk are really likable, funny, and unique with how they're written. And Meliodas is one of the funniest anime protagonists I've ever seen. And I like it when they reunite with the other things, especially Bond, who tied with Meliodas in terms of my favorite characters of the series. They're both hilarious, and I love it when they meet up again. And I like most of the other things too. Diane, King, Merlin, Gopher, Escanor. Not only do they each have something about them that's really funny, but they're all just so likable. Anyway, I like the camaraderie they all have, and the way the story continues from that point onward. And once the fight on the kingdom begins, it becomes really awesome and really interesting. We get introduced to new characters, we get introduced to demons here, and we learn more about the sins themselves. And I love the way the story keeps going in the kingdom. Within the story inside the kingdom, and we're introduced to new villains like Piget, Hendrik, Sin, and Dreyfus. And I love the way that a lot of these stories connect, like the way they're connected together, and the way that keeps going, and we learn more with more of an explanation for why so many of these characters are doing these things, and with the explanation when Meliodas says Elizabeth and her dad, and we get a really awesome action scene with a whole bunch of characters against Hendrickson. And again, there's just so much fantastic plot twist that happen throughout this entire story that's really, really interesting. And the whole story leading up about that ending fight was really great, and the build-up was totally worth it. I like the stuff with each of the things, and then the festival, in the middle was really fun with the different hits, the different fights between all of them. And yeah, that's something else as well. Just the whole action scene and just get so crazy and over the top, but they're so fun and they're so cool that you just don't care. And then when we get to the kingdom, it's a blast to watch the story unfold. And something else that the series does really well is have some characters be bad and unlikable one moment and then making them really likable in the next. I think a good example of this is still Thunder, Hendrickson, and Dreyfus. Once they join the heroes, they become incredibly likable. And I like everything in the first season a lot. Some of the best anime writing I've seen in a long time. And it does have some surprising moments as well, not only with the turns that the story takes, but even has some surprising and shape to the action scenes. And yeah, and because the action scenes are so crazy and over the top, it just made that aspect so much better. And again, you're always so invested in these fights because they're so much fun to watch. And there's not a single one of them that isn't so much fun. And then as you're watching these characters and just having your understanding just how powerful these characters are, it just makes it all the more fun when they pull out a bunch of devastating powers. And most of the time they'll do some simple attacks and they'll have a much more powerful attack behind it. And basically the first part of this series is amazing in my opinion. I love a lot of things about it. And then when we get into the next season, well, the next part after that first season is just some filler, but when we get back to the real story again, it's really good again. The revival of the Ten Commandments. For starters, with the sin being celebrated for saving the capital, and we get introduced to a lot, like how the broken sword Meliodas has with him is actually a key that holds back a whole bunch of demons called the Ten Commandments, which is what he is too. He's also a demon, but one who's good and opposes the other commandments, while also having a bit of a dark side to him, because of the power inside him, and also because of his past. And not only does he have a traumatic past, but he's also got a power that could obliterate a huge jail really quickly. And I like some of the relationships that are here as well, like the friendships they all form, but also some of the actual relationships between characters like Meliodas and Elizabeth. Anyway, but I like the way the story is told in season 2 with Bond, Jericho, and Tin going to the ferry, and Meliodas and the others going to the druid to just wander to fight the Ten Commandments, and then all of them meeting up during the Drake Fight Festival. But then, rather than all of them fighting the commandments there, Meliodas being to fight them himself while all the others watch, and he just getting destroyed, like his arm gets off, his forced to wield his sword in his mouth, he's almost killed, and Bond comes in and so on. But then he really is killed when Esteros begins to destroy all his parts. And this part is pretty violent with Esterosa just stabbing the Joey through his body and destroying his hearts one by one until eventually he's able to kill him. But then it reveals that his father is a bad guy inside him who's hoping to take over Meliodas' body so he can be brought back to life. But it also makes Meliodas more uncontrollable and more violent, and the rest of the series is really great too. I like the story with Diane going back to the land of giants, and we discover more about her past as well. And but just in the first two seasons is really amazing in my opinion. Fantastic writing, fantastic character progression, set up, and everything. I think this show just does such a really great job with doing all of that. And it's really cool that all of that is actually available on Netflix at the moment. However, after that, we get into the infamous part of the series, the most recent season, which was being talked about so much. Because, if you've heard a lot about this show, then you must know about, the whole, third season with the Wrath of the Gods season. So, if you've heard about this show, then you probably know just how infamous this season is, just because of the people who are making this show moved to another animation studio, and as a result, the animation of this show took a big dip in quality. Because for some reason they just decided to go to another studio for the animation, and as a result we got some of the worst animation and probably in anime history, with the whole third season just being hated because of the horrible animation. It's kind of like, it's pretty much just like with the original first few episodes of Dragon Ball Super with the terrible animation. Because it's basically the horrible fight between Meliodas and Escanor. Because if you've seen it, then you must know how horrible the animation was in that scene. So the whole third season definitely a different quality because of that. However, I will say that I was still having fun with the third season just because of the story. If we're talking about the animation, then obviously not. However, the story itself was still getting through to the manga, and I love that part. I just love watching the story unfold and just watching more of the characters, because we learn more about Meliodas and Elizabeth themselves as well, with how they're the reincarnation, with how Elizabeth is actually the reincarnation of the goddess, and she actually has her powers, and every time she learns more about her past, she'll just die every single time. And so Meliodas has been going through this for so long. And so that's really tragic, and you really do feel that. And so, again, even though we learn more about this story, and even with the bad animation, I was still really invested in the story. And again, I do have all the manga, but so it was easy to acknowledge that as well. And again, thankfully, even though the quality was still going down in that aspect, I was still really invested in the story, especially when we see Meliodas deciding to become the Demon King, and so he just tried to do that as a way to save Elizabeth and all that. And again, we just get a lot of really great character stuff between the characters, and it's really fun. I really love following the story, even if the animation quality is going down in this season. But even still, like everything before the new season was all really fantastic, and I was loving so much of it. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say if you can necessarily actually watch the series, like the whole series, but I think you should watch whatever you think is best for the series. And I am really excited to at least see more of the series just because of the story. Because like I just said, regardless of the bad animation, I was loving the story. And I'm not really sure, like I'm pretty sure like there is a new season coming out, and I would love to be able to watch more of it because I am still loving the story. And yeah, I mean, hopefully it will be done and dubbed really soon because I'm pretty sure like the manga finished last year, and I'm pretty sure the new season will be the last one, and so I would love to see the rest of the season completed like for the entire show. And so yeah, really guys, I had a really great time with this series, and I do recommend watching it because it is just so good. Not only does it have a really interesting story, but it just has a lot of really interesting characters. It has a really fascinating story and characters that are really fun to watch. And so yeah, like I just said, I definitely do think that you should watch this show. It's really fun in my opinion. So yeah, that's my review of the Seven Deadly Sins. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all liked this video. If you did, then please like this video. Please comment down below to tell me what you think. Please follow me on Twitter at Daniel Maloney, and Disney fan writing Kingdom Hearts and Disney Please every day. And please subscribe for more content like this coming soon, and I'll see you on next time. Take care.